Have you ever felt like anxiety is holding you back, preventing you from reaching your potential? What if, instead of an obstacle, anxiety could become the fuel that drives your personal growth and fulfillment? In this video, we're diving into how anxiety, when approached differently, can be a powerful force that pushes you forward rather than holding you down. By the end of this video, you'll have practical tools to channel your anxiety into a source of strength, helping you reach your goals and become the best version of yourself. Ready to transform anxiety into a powerful ally? Let's get started. Anxiety is something almost everyone faces at some point, but have you ever stopped to consider what it truly is? At its core, anxiety is a natural response from our body and mind, preparing us to deal with uncertainty or perceived threats. Though it feels uncomfortable, anxiety can be seen as a signal, a call to pay attention to something important in our lives. Instead of viewing it as a purely negative experience, what if we could redefine it as a potential driving force? Imagine anxiety as a kind of energy, like fuel waiting to be channeled. This energy, when reframed, can become a motivating force, pushing us to take action, confront challenges, and ultimately grow. This approach is known as reframing, and it involves changing the way we interpret anxiety from something that limits us to something that empowers us. Consider the concept of fight or flight. In moments of anxiety, our body and mind naturally prepare to either avoid the situation or face it head-on. By choosing to fight, or in other words, to engage and work with the anxiety, we can harness that energy as momentum. Instead of resisting or trying to suppress our anxiety, we learn to accept it and use it as a tool to fuel our journey towards self-improvement. By the end of this video, you'll see how shifting your perception of anxiety, viewing it as a source of motivation rather than a roadblock, can empower you. With a simple mindset shift, this energy becomes your ally, providing a sense of urgency and focus that can help propel you toward your goals. One of the most impactful steps in transforming anxiety into a positive force is adjusting your mindset. Think of your mindset as the lens through which you view the world. It shapes how you perceive and respond to anxiety. A fixed mindset sees anxiety as something negative and paralyzing, something to avoid at all costs. But with a growth mindset, you view anxiety as a natural part of life, even a helpful signal that you're pushing beyond your comfort zone. A helpful way to look at this is by comparing anxiety to an engine. Imagine you're driving a car, and anxiety is the engine revving up, providing energy and movement. When harnessed correctly, this energy propels you forward, helping you navigate obstacles and stay on course. By shifting to a growth mindset, you're deciding to use that energy, channeling it in productive directions rather than letting it overwhelm you. So, how can you begin to adopt a growth mindset? Start by viewing moments of anxiety as opportunities for learning and development rather than setbacks. For example, if you feel anxious before a big presentation or interview, reframe it as a sign that you care about the outcome and that this experience can help you grow. You're not only acknowledging the anxiety, but seeing it as a motivating factor to prepare and improve. By changing your perspective, anxiety becomes less of a hindrance and more of a stepping stone. Embracing this mindset shift can give you the confidence to approach challenges head-on, viewing each anxious moment as a chance to push your limits, develop resilience, and move closer to achieving your goals. Now that we've reframed anxiety and explored the power of a growth mindset, it's time to dive into some actionable strategies. These are practical techniques you can use to transform anxious energy into a force that helps you reach your goals. 1. Recognize and accept your anxiety. The first step to channeling anxiety is to acknowledge and accept it instead of resisting or suppressing it. Often, we feel compelled to fight anxiety by ignoring it, which can lead to even more stress. Instead, try to approach your anxiety with curiosity. Notice when it arises, observe how it feels in your body, and identify what may be causing it. By accepting anxiety without judgment, you create a space to work with it rather than against it. This practice is often supported by mindfulness exercises, like deep breathing and grounding techniques, which help bring you into the present moment. 2. Set specific, manageable goals. One effective way to use anxious energy is to channel it toward concrete goals. When anxiety arises, it's often because we feel uncertain or overwhelmed by the scale of what we need to accomplish. Breaking down your goals into smaller, manageable steps can make a huge difference. For example, if you're feeling anxious about a major project, start by setting small, actionable steps, like organizing your tasks, creating a timeline, or completing one task at a time. This approach transforms your anxiety into motivation, as each small success builds momentum and confidence, making the larger goal feel achievable. 3. Transform fear into motivation. Anxiety is often rooted in a fear of failure or the unknown. But instead of letting that fear paralyze you, you can use it to fuel preparation and perseverance. Think about how athletes train. They often feel anxious before competitions, but they use that nervous energy to prepare, practice, and push themselves. By adopting this approach, you can turn fear into a productive force. The next time you feel anxious about an upcoming challenge, view it as a prompt to prepare thoroughly, whether it's through research, practice, or planning. This way, anxiety becomes a trigger for action, helping you focus and work harder toward success. 4. Embrace physical activity as an outlet. Physical activity is an excellent way to manage and channel anxiety. Exercise, whether it's a short walk, a gym session, or yoga, releases endorphins and reduces stress hormones, providing a natural relief for anxiety. Additionally, it gives your anxious energy a positive outlet. By incorporating regular physical activity into your routine, you create a space to release built-up tension and clear your mind. This not only helps you manage anxiety, but also prepares you to approach challenges with a refreshed perspective. 5. Practice self-compassion and celebrate progress. Finally, remember to be kind to yourself throughout the process. It's easy to be critical, especially when anxiety makes you feel vulnerable. Practicing self-compassion can make a significant difference. Recognize that anxiety is a normal part of growth, and every small step you take is progress. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small, as these affirmations reinforce your ability to handle challenges. By applying these strategies, you can begin to view anxiety as a powerful motivator rather than a roadblock. Instead of feeling trapped by it, you can use this energy to take proactive steps towards self-improvement and personal success. To bring these strategies to life, let's look at a few real-life examples of people who've used anxiety as a powerful motivator. Hearing about others who have faced similar struggles can be a reminder that transforming anxiety is not only possible, but can lead to incredible achievements. One inspiring example is that of athletes who frequently face high-pressure situations. Take a professional runner, for instance, who may experience intense anxiety before a major race. Instead of letting this anxiety overwhelm them, they harness it as fuel. By channeling that anxious energy into rigorous training and focusing on their goals, they use the anticipation and nervousness to push themselves to perform at their best. In this way, anxiety becomes a catalyst, driving them toward excellence rather than holding them back. Another powerful example comes from the world of creative professionals. Many artists, writers, and performers face anxiety in the form of creative block or fear of failure. Consider an author about to release their first book. Anxiety may rise as they worry about how the audience will receive their work. Instead of giving in to self-doubt, successful creatives use this anxiety to stay motivated, refining their craft and pouring their emotions into their work. This energy often fuels their creativity, making their work even more impactful and authentic. For young professionals or students, anxiety can arise when preparing for big exams, presentations, or career moves. Let's say a recent graduate feels anxious about an upcoming job interview. Rather than succumbing to fear, they use that anxiety as a reason to prepare meticulously. Researching the company, practicing interview questions, and presenting themselves confidently. This preparation not only eases the anxiety but also gives them a competitive edge. These examples demonstrate that anxiety, when reframed and directed, can be an incredibly powerful force. Whether in athletics, creative pursuits, or career ambitions, anxiety can motivate us to prepare, persist, and push past our limits. Seeing anxiety as a shared human experience reminds us that we're not alone, and it can empower us to turn it into a tool for reaching our full potential. Transforming anxiety into a positive force is a journey that happens gradually. To make it part of your daily life, here are some small but powerful steps you can take each day to start channeling your anxiety effectively. 1. Keep an anxiety journal. One of the best ways to understand and manage your anxiety is to track it. Every time you feel anxious, take a few moments to write down what you're feeling, what might have triggered it, and how you reacted. Over time, you'll start to see patterns, recognizing specific situations or thoughts that spark anxiety. This awareness is the first step toward mastering it, as it allows you to anticipate and prepare for these triggers, transforming them into moments of growth rather than stress. 2. Take on small challenges regularly. Facing small, manageable challenges every day helps you build resilience and gradually become more comfortable with anxiety. Start with something that's slightly out of your comfort zone but not overwhelming. It could be as simple as initiating a conversation with a colleague, trying a new activity, or setting a minor goal. Each time you tackle a challenge, you build confidence and learn that anxiety doesn't have to hold you back. 3. Celebrate small wins. Every step forward, no matter how small, is worth celebrating. When you accomplish something despite feeling anxious, acknowledge it. Celebrating small victories reinforces your ability to handle anxiety, showing you that each effort brings you closer to your goals. This positive reinforcement helps build a healthy mindset, making it easier to embrace anxiety as a part of the journey rather than a hindrance. With these daily practices, you create a routine that encourages growth and resilience, allowing anxiety to become a familiar, even motivating presence in your life. We've covered a lot on the journey of transforming anxiety into a powerful tool for personal growth. Let's recap the main points to bring everything together. First, we redefined anxiety, recognizing it as a natural response that, instead of blocking us, can actually be channeled to push us forward. Then, we explored the power of a growth mindset, learning how shifting our perspective on anxiety can turn it from an obstacle into a stepping stone. Next, we dived into practical strategies, like acknowledging and accepting anxiety, setting specific goals, using fear as motivation, and engaging in physical activity to channel anxious energy. These strategies equip you to harness anxiety's energy productively, rather than letting it overwhelm you. We also saw how real-life examples, from athletes to artists to young professionals, have used anxiety as fuel to achieve greatness, demonstrating that it's possible to turn this emotion into a driving force. Incorporating daily habits like journaling, tackling small challenges, and celebrating wins gives you a way to practice these ideas consistently. These simple steps make transformation manageable, helping you build resilience and reinforcing that anxiety doesn't have to hold you back. It can actually be an ally in your pursuit of personal goals. So, as you move forward, remember, anxiety is not your enemy. It's a signal that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, a reminder of the potential you hold. Embrace it, work with it, and let it be a guide on your journey towards self-improvement. By channeling this energy, you're not only overcoming obstacles, you're unlocking a new level of motivation and strength within yourself. Thank you for joining me on this journey of transforming anxiety into strength. If this video resonated with you, consider sharing your experiences with anxiety in the comments below. How has anxiety affected your life, and what steps are you taking to turn it into a positive force? Don't forget to share this video with friends who might benefit from these insights. and subscribe for more content on personal growth and mental well-being. Together, we can continue exploring ways to embrace our challenges and reach our full potential. Let's keep growing and thriving, one step at a time.